Am I the jerk for telling my mother that her students probably hated her if she spoke to them how she speaks to me? I, a 17-year-old male, recently sat for exams. I am in year 12, and these were my year 13 entrance exams. Two of the subjects I did exams for were subjects that I had been pressured into doing by my family. Shortly after selecting these subjects to study for year 12, I grew to quickly hate them. I realized I should not have let my family sway all my subject choices and tried to change them, but it was too late in the year. The subjects in question are biology and chemistry. When I came to the realization that I should not be doing those subjects because it is my life, and they do not make me happy, I tried to talk to my family about retaking year 12 and reselecting two of my courses while keeping the other, psychology. We had many arguments about it. My parents said the career I wanted would not get me anywhere in life, and they saw me retaking the year and giving up as a failure, laziness, and a disgrace. My aunt tried to stand up for me, and it escalated, ultimately resulting in me being accused of destroying the family with my selfish and unrealistic ideas. After months of back and forth, my parents got on board and we agreed to focus all my energy on psychology. By this time, it was more than halfway through the year, and my year 13 entrance for psychology was approaching. I revised when I could, but due to some lethargy issues, I am actually seeing a doctor for it this week. I quickly lost focus and grew tired from revision, which probably impacted my final grade. I also think I have ADHD, but my parents refused to let me get a test because it would ruin my life and my chances of getting into universities and employment. I did the exams last week and the result for my psychology exam came back. The result was based on two papers we sat. In paper 1, I did awfully, but in paper 2, I did quite well. My grade was not good enough to make my average grade a passing grade. Things happened during exams that were stressful, and it may have impacted me, but I do not know. When I told my parents about this, they were both disappointed. My dad tried to comfort me and told me how he failed his exams but now works a good, well-paying job and was still able to go to university. On the other hand, my mother kept accusing me of not trying and not making any effort. She said I did not listen to her because I did not do practice questions, even though I had been asking my teacher at school to give me some, more frequently in the last week, before exams in particular. She also accused me of laziness and not making the necessary sacrifices. She told me that I am a disappointment and useless, and tried to say that I was brainwashed by my friends into going out and partying, when out of all my siblings, I go out the least. I said to her she never has anything comforting to say, and if she cannot offer a bright side point of view to her literal son, then it is probably why the students at her last school hated her. After that, she just went quiet and left the room. You are not the jerk. Your feelings matter, and it's important to communicate openly with your parents about how their words impact you. There's help available to get back on track, and focusing on your own well-being and future is crucial. You're not alone, and support is out there to help navigate these challenging times. Am I the jerk for wanting to make my partner dress up with me for Halloween? So my girlfriend and I will be going on 1 year in September, and it has been great these last 9 months. However, with Halloween still a little while away, I am really excited for that holiday with her again, and to enjoy the festivities of the fall time for a second time. The only problem with that is she does not want to dress up for Halloween. For context, this will be our second Halloween together. Last year, we did not dress up because she said Halloween is not her holiday, and she simply did not want to dress up. Given that the rest of the people we hung out with did not plan on dressing up, I did not push her and just agreed that we would not do it. While I was disappointed, I understood her discomfort at the time because we were very new in the relationship, and she did not know my family and friends that well. This year is different. She is great with my family, and everything is going well between her and my parents and siblings. My siblings and their partners plan to dress up on Halloween. I mentioned that to her briefly and subtly, and she said she still does not want to dress up. This will make us the only two at the party who will not be in costume. I really want us to match and dress up in costumes, but I have not talked with her yet about doing it or pushed it. I am worried she is going to say no again and put her foot down, which will make us singled out at the party. Given that we did not dress up last year and it will have been longer than a year when Halloween approaches, am I wrong to push her to wear a costume with me? I hope that not doing it last year would help her decision on considering wearing a costume this time. Thank you for reading, and please let me know your thoughts. TLDR, my girlfriend does not want to dress up on Halloween with me, which will make us the only ones not dressed up at the party of family and friends. I want to push her to dress up because we did not do it last year. I think you're at fault here. She's made it clear she doesn't want to dress up for Halloween, and that's her choice. Her not dressing up isn't stopping you from enjoying the holiday, so just wear your costume and leave her alone. You can't force someone into dressing a certain way. Respect her decision and go enjoy Halloween on your own if you have to. Am I the jerk for asking my partner to take care of the new dog? My husband and I have 2 children and a dog. She is my dog in the sense that it was my birthday when we got her, and she was pretty expensive, so I agreed to do all the dog-related care, training, and cleaning. So far, so good. She's awesome and I love taking care of her. Because we have children and my husband has a very time-consuming job, I selected a dog that is short-haired, low-maintenance, and cuddly. I also have a full-time regular job and do all the childcare, cleaning, cooking, scheduling, and driving everyone around. I did some temperament checks before selecting the dog, and I'm happy to report that she's just as easygoing as I'd hoped. My husband wants a second dog. He really wants a puppy of a certain breed that has higher energy and grooming needs, as well as a long, silky coat. A dog is a big deal, and I don't want to do all the extra work to keep the house clean, especially with a new puppy. I have overextended myself as it is. So I told him if he would be the primary caregiver, cleaning up accidents and yard poops, doing training and making sure the dog was mentally stimulated and got plenty of exercise, I'd greenlight it. He said I wasn't being fair. He hadn't complained when I wanted an expensive dog that he didn't love at first sight. He definitely agrees that he loves her now. So why shouldn't I let him get whatever kind of dog he wanted? I reiterated that he could get the puppy, but he would have to clean up after it, keep it fit, healthy, and trained well so it didn't get destructive. He keeps saying that's unrealistic with his job, which sounds like he expects me to do all the work. I said if he's not okay with the responsibility, then he shouldn't get the puppy. Our dog was expensive, but I was true to my word. He hasn't had to pick up a single poop, shampoo her, give her medications, or even feed her. Now we are both grumpy because he really wants that adorable puppy, but I'm fed up with doing everything around here that isn't his paid work. Your actions don't make you a jerk. It's completely fair to ask him to care for the puppy that he wants. If he can't be 100% responsible for it, then getting a puppy is unrealistic. You are the one caring for your dog, and he should do the same for the new one. You're being straightforward and reasonable. Am I the jerk for making it a problem that my co-maid of honor is my high school bully? I've been friends with this girl for a very long time. When we were in high school, she was also friends with this other girl. We'll call her MM, was a very nasty and cold-hearted person in high school. She fed off making other people's lives miserable because hers was. It used to be a trend on Snapchat to send your group chat a picture of someone and have them say honest things about them. On the day of my 16th birthday, M took a picture from my social media page and sent it to her group chat. She had all her other miserable friends say awful things about me that have stuck with me to this day. It was not the only time she was mean and bullied me, but it is the one that has stuck with me years later. Fast forward to a few months ago, our mutual friend, who we'll call P, got engaged and asked me to be her maid of honor. Of course, I was over the moon and told her yes because it was something we had both talked about happening for years prior. Everything was perfect and going great until a month or so ago when P decided that M and I should both be her maids of honor. Of course, I was absolutely heartbroken and hurt because I thought we already had it all set in place, just for them to turn around and change it completely. P knows what M did to me in high school as she was the one who had her take the post down and make her apologize for it. Now, as of today, things have gotten worse. There have been arguments between M and me, and P is painting me out to be the bad guy in the situation. She says that I'm bitter, that it happened years ago, and that I need to get over it, which of course I am offended by. During the argument, M brought up things about my health that I had only communicated to P, so I was very mad and hurt. I called her up and kind of went off on her about it because I think as a friend, she shouldn't be telling someone she knows I don't like anything about my personal business. That has snowballed into today, and P and I are having a conversation discussing how we both feel in this situation and just being very calm and honest with each other. Mid-argument, I get a text from the groom telling me that I was using P as a punching bag and making the whole wedding about me. Mind you, they've been together for about a year and a half, and they did not know each other at the time of the bullying events. I have only met this guy once, so I told him he's wrong and he doesn't know me, so he needs to butt out of what has been a very civil conversation. Now, I'm being told I'm being disrespectful and that it's his right to be a part of this because it's his wedding too. So guys, am I the asshole for this? High school bullying is often minimized, but it can cause serious and lasting trauma. It's clear that P knew your history and decided to try to mend things with M on your behalf, which complicates the situation. This whole dynamic seems really toxic and I wouldn't trust either of them. Honestly, you deserve friends who respect and support you without dragging you back into past trauma. Would I be the asshole for uninviting my friend to my wedding? I have known my friend V since childhood, and he has been in a relationship with his boyfriend H for over 6 years. They moved in together after a year, but their relationship hasn't been great. My boyfriend and I are getting married this summer and invited both V and his boyfriend to our wedding. 4 years ago, V started having an affair with a second boyfriend, P. When P found out about H, he broke up with V, thankfully dodging the bullet. V told our mutual friends and me that he was going to break up with H but never did. Initially, we thought he was just unhappy and lacked the courage to end things with H. A few months later, V seemed to have moved on and was trying to work things out with H. However, he soon told us he started dating a new person, M, without his knowledge. Once again, he claimed he would break up with H, but never followed through. V began bringing M to our friend group, meetups more than his actual boyfriend H, and he even asked us to lie about H no longer living with him. He expects us to maintain this deceit. M also became a colleague of V and my boyfriend, who work at the same company. My friends and I confronted V about his behavior, telling him it is wrong, but he keeps making excuses, saying he cannot break up with H because H is going through a tough time. This situation has persisted for 3 years now. Both H and M believe they are in serious, exclusive relationships with V. V keeps telling us he isn't with H, but H is clearly unaware of this and still living with him. We have repeatedly talked to V, calling him out on his behavior. I have also been asking him who he will be bringing to our wedding for months now. We invited H because he is our friend, and we still consider him to be V's boyfriend. M is a colleague of my boyfriend and also knows we are getting married. V keeps saying he will be making a choice soon, and even jokes about bringing them both or that we should do the wedding twice. However, he doesn't make up his mind and continues this deceitful situation. I am fed up with V's behavior in general and feel like I should uninvite him to our wedding. I believe it's not an outsider's place to interfere in someone else's relationship, but I do think this situation has gone too far. It is extremely disrespectful to everyone, and I no longer want a part in this lie. It might be best to just pick random names for the characters to make it easier to follow. You behaved properly by disinviting V from the wedding. He's been making things difficult. Besides, everyone keeping this from M and H is just wrong and unfair to them. It's time to stop being friends with V and tell M and H the truth. Am I the jerk for telling my crazy ex on their birthday that we will never be together? My ex-girlfriend Linda and I had dated for 1 year on and off. We lived 25,000 kilometers apart. We broke up twice due to the long distance. When we got back to Macedonia the third time, my friend, who is also Linda's brother, invited me to his house. I asked, "Where is Linda?" He told me she had moved in with her new boyfriend 6 hours away and would be staying permanently. I thought this was great because there wouldn't be any awkwardness. 2 weeks later at 12 p.m., I was still asleep when I got a frantic call to go to my mate's house. I got there 45 minutes later only to have Linda open the door. We planned to go for coffee that night. I agreed because it was all 3 of us. I got to the cafe and called to see where they were. I walked in and saw Linda there while still on the phone. I told him Linda was there and that he would be there soon. Spoiler, he never did. I sat down and thought I shouldn't leave her alone at night. I told her I was interested in someone in Australia and she talked about her boyfriend. I saw a group of girls and Linda noticed and said, "How dare you look at other girls in front of your girlfriend?" She pulled my face towards her to look at her. She said it in a joking sense, but I also thought I needed to make it known I wasn't interested. So I walked up to these girls and introduced myself. Linda yanked my arm, stared at these girls and said, "He's mine." I didn't want to leave her alone as her house was a good 25-minute drive from the city, and I was only 5 minutes past her house. We sat down again, knowing she was crazy. I said I was off to the bathroom at this point. I didn't mention I was going to call my other mate to get me out of this situation like a third wheel or even for some advice. She asked, "Where are you going?" "Taking your phone so you can cheat on me." I continued walking. My friend couldn't make it. He suggested I stay another 20 minutes, offer to get her a taxi home and be done with it. After I got out of the bathroom, she asked me about my car. I'm super proud of it, and she wanted to see a photo. So, I let her. As she swiped and commented on how good it looked, she started to giggle. Only then did it occur to me she found my nudes, which were only a few swipes away. I reached for my phone when she pulled it away, facing outwards, revealing my nude to everyone. I grabbed my phone, left her in the cafe and stormed off. I got home and went to bed. I had a lot of texts and calls from her. I called her and immediately started screaming at the top of my lungs that she is a crazy, money-driven woman, and I hope she never finds anyone. This continued for about 10 minutes. My last words were, "There is no chance I would ever get back with you even if you were the last woman on earth." My mother pointed out it was her birthday and that I was an asshole for saying all of that to her and that I could have made it quick and painless. After breaking up multiple times due to long distance, it seemed like a relief when Linda moved in with her new boyfriend. Unexpectedly running into her again led to an awkward coffee meetup, where Linda acted possessive and even exposed personal photos. It became clear that staying any longer would only escalate the situation, so it was best to leave and avoid more drama. In hindsight, it might have been better to handle the situation more calmly, but emotions were running high. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.